Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tom Spark. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be comparing the SM7B to the RE20. Now, why is my opinion valuable on this subject? Well, I'm not an audiophile, I'm not an expert microphone tester or anything like that, but I'm just a basic kind of YouTuber who's using OBS without any filters, without any post-production kind of equalization or anything like that. I'm just recording pretty much how the microphone sounds, putting in my videos, cranking out these videos as fast as possible, and I think that kind of perspective could be more valuable to you than someone who's doing a lot of stuff you might not be doing. So we're going to be seeing which mic is better, the SM7B or the RE20, for someone with that kind of basic user experience that like you might be in, like me. So right now we do have the gain set up to kind of get into the yellow range on OBS. It's peaking a little bit right now. Let's turn it down. We turned it down just a little bit. So on OBS, you do kind of want it to be within that range. -10 around there is a pretty good range to be in for OBS without any going into the red zone too much. So this is kind of what the basic mic sounds like. I do have like a little switch toggled on down here for like bass roll off or something like that. I think it's supposed to make it a little bit more bassy. So that's kind of what the microphone sounds like right now. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off just to see if there's any difference you could notice. Alright, so now this is what it sounds like without that kind of little toggle on down there. Now, one thing I do kind of want to mention really quickly about the SM7B, I find that the stand and just overall kind of ergonomic kind of design of it is a little bit easier to get into your face and at a good kind of way. You're just using a basic kind of boom arm right here, and it's easy to just kind of get it in the right place. The RE20 just kind of comes with a thing like this, and I've found that the design is a little bit trickier sometimes to get like how you want. Sometimes if you put it like this, it's going to fall down because it's pretty heavy. That's just a little thing to say that I think I like the design of this microphone a little bit more. Now let's go ahead and check out the RE20. We're going to get around the same kind of area, -10 or so in OBS for that yellow zone, and we'll see which voice sounds better. Alright, so we are holding it pretty much at the same distance that the SM7B was. Pretty close. It's really only like a little bit between my mouth and the microphone, so it's about the same range. Some people might say with SM7B you really got to get it so like this or something like that, but I don't think that's very practical, especially when you're playing games or something like that, or making videos, or just kind of talking about your content. So this is pretty much a good range, I think, for it to sound like. And right now I adjusted the gain a little bit on the knob over there on the Focusrite over there. I kind of got my directions mixed up when I'm looking at the camera, but as you could see, it's kind of in the same range. I turned it down a little bit. It's a little bit more sensitive than the SM7B, so now we're in the same range. What do you think it sounds like? Do you think it sounds a little bit more bassy? Personally, I think this one has kind of like a more radio-like kind of sound, a little bit more bassy, a little bit more deep. And then the SM7B sounds a little bit more clear, maybe a little bit more grainy, maybe like a little more trebly, maybe not as bassy or something like that. So it kind of just depends on what you're looking for. This one doesn't have as, the SM7B I don't think has as much of an effect of this one that kind of has that old style radio kind of feel to it, whereas the SM7B does have that, good bassiness, but perhaps not as much as you might have been led to believe. I don't know if it sounds quite as good to me. As a personal preference, I think I might like this one a little bit more. So guys, in conclusion, which microphone do I like better? Well, it's a little tricky there because I do think each one has a little bit of pros and cons. I do think the SMB has a little bit of advantage in some small areas that I don't know if they're going to be significant enough to you. For example, I think the design of the microphone and the way it kind of mounts to things is a little bit stronger. I do like how the SM7B actually comes with 2 pop filters. You have one for kind of normal stuff and one more for like close voiceover work like this, whereas the RE20 doesn't really come with anything. Now, there is some argument to be made that the RE20 perhaps doesn't need a pop filter as much. However, you heard some pops in that initial test, and you do have to be careful with it. And this pop filter is actually made by Shure, which I bought on Amazon and just put on top of the RE20, and it does seem to do the trick. So there is that as an option. You're just gonna have to pay a little bit extra on Amazon. Additionally, like I said, I do like to design a little bit more of the mounting system of SM7B. Right now, I got a pretty good setup with the RE20. I kind of have the boom arm set like this, and then the attachment goes down, and then the microphone goes up like that. It does work for the most part. With the RE20, you do kind of want to be careful to be talking into it at like the angle where the mic is. To the side, it doesn't sound quite as good. Sometimes it's a little more less annoying because it is kind of directly in front of my monitor right now. The boom arm especially. I could put a little bit lower like this, and it's not too much in my way, and it's still in a pretty good placement for my voice. So not a huge issue, just something to kind of keep in mind. Ultimately, I do think the RE20 probably has a little bit more of that radio-like voice. The SM7B kind of just sounds like a little bit more like a regular microphone, but it's kind of up to you. Which one do you like more? Let me know down in the comments down below. Thanks for checking out this video. If you guys are looking for more advice on YouTube or something like that, I'm going to be making more videos on that. I don't know if I'll be doing more microphone tests, but stick around and maybe you'll find something you like, or come check out my Discord and my Discord community, and I'll see you again very soon.